hope you can understand me like this. It's fine, it's working. I hope you managed to find a seat. It's always good to see that all the chairs we have in the room are filled with such a lot of young liberals from all over Europe. First of all, I want to welcome you at our LYMEC Congress here in Sophia. And especially a warm welcome to our guests we have today. We have with us Christo Bisserov, the Deputy Chairman of the Bulgarian Parliament. And also the Deputy Chair of the MRF Party. Then we have Yunal Lutfi. He is a Member of Parliament already for 6 mandates. And the Deputy Chair of the Parliamentary Group also, and the International Officer of MRF. Also, warm welcome to you. We have Jevdet Chakarov, also Member of Parliament for MRF. Welcome. Then of course we have with us Jehan, sorry for my Bulgarian, it's a bit rusty, but Ibrahimov, do I say it right like this? Yes. The Chairman of Youth of MRF. Also welcome. And then last but not least we have René Klaaff here, and also Peter Bochman from Friedrich Naumann Stiftung, who were so kind to support us for this event. Also, a warm welcome to you. It will be it is already an interesting time in Europe in the last years, but especially in the last time. We have seen a lot of elections going on. In some countries it went quite well for liberals. In the Netherlands, by example, hopefully also next Sunday in Belgium. In some countries it's not going so well for liberals, but I think that's a good task for us as young liberals to fight for this and to keep on supporting our liberal values, especially in these economic tough times we face. This weekend we will have a good opportunity to discuss a lot of resolutions tomorrow, to debate our policies as young liberals and to actually reshape Europe on our own, because that's what we are going to do in the run-up to the next European elections in 2014. So that's a big task for all of you. Again, it's nice to have about 100 delegates from almost all our member states and states we have member organizations here in the Congress. I hope you will have a nice weekend. I hope you have good discussions, and tomorrow I hope we also can welcome some new member organizations in LYMEC. But first, before we start our Congress, I would like to give the floor first to René Klaaff, the project director for this region from FNF, to say some words to you. So Mr. Klaaff, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished guests, friends from Bulgarian liberals, ladies and gentlemen, and dear liberal friends from all over Europe. Let me please extend a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom to this event, the Autumn Congress 2012 of LYMEC. It's an honor and a pleasure for the Friedrich Naumann Foundation here in Sofia, as one of the supporters of this event, that we are integrated into your meeting here. It was also a pleasure for us that we could support the Congress by helping to conduct the seminar Taboos in Europe, which took place from last Wednesday to this Friday afternoon, and I hear, although I couldn't come, that this was a quite lively and interesting event. Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom, of course, is an institution that I think all of you know quite well or have at least heard of. We are an institution that is dedicated to promoting liberal ideas through dialogue and civic education. We aim to defend and consolidate political and economic freedom, freedom of the press, freedom of expression, and thereby create a true civil society characterized by liberal values. As liberals, the Naumann Foundation as well as LYMEC work for liberal values like devolution and deregulation, fight against corruption, democratic rules in all spheres of the society, responsibility and individual freedom, equal opportunities, restricting of the role of the state, promulgating the rule of law, and good things like that. Here in Bulgaria, we have been active since 1990. In this process, we have supported and accompanied the process of transition and the accession of Bulgaria to the European Union. And throughout all these years, we have collaborated with liberal youth organizations and liberal individual young liberals in this country, both from the MRF or the PC party, as well as from the NDCG party here in the country. In your seminar, you have discussed political taboo issues in Europe, and you discussed the economic and financial crisis in Europe, which affects young people, and if you like, which affects young people most, more than others, when we consider youth unemployment rates in Spain, Greece, or in other states. It is thus very important that the youth raises its voice, and that the liberal voice and the liberal face that is raised of young people in Europe is essentially also the face of LYMEC. The current crisis that we see these days is a crisis around, certainly around economics, finances, budgets, the euro, or even the EU. This current crisis has created new mental barriers in Europe, and it has undermined the European identity and European governance to some extent. However, crisis management has also brought to the surface new horizons for both deepening and widening the European Union. We Europeans now have the opportunity for democratic renewal of the European Union, also in its relationship with neighboring regions. The opportunity for a new kind of European integration and civil society cooperation. Your task, as I see it, is to discuss how to overcome the crisis from a liberal point of view, with liberal tools and politics, and how to deepen the European integration, but primarily, of course, from the perspective of the dynamics that is inherent in the young generation, in the generation of future leaders. There are already too many social democratic and even socialist ideas, and sometimes also nationalistic ideas on the market, which see the solution of the current crisis primarily in more state, more regulation, and less freedom, and finally less success in terms of prosperity, progress, and innovation. But this is your future, your world. Don't hesitate to raise your voice and to introduce liberal ideas publicly, probably starting in your own mother parties, and remain persistent in your struggle for a true liberal society. It is in your hands. We as the Now Foundation for Freedom wish you all the best, and wish you also a successful Congress with good results. At this occasion, I would like to thank also the youth organization of the Movement for Rights and Freedoms for organizing this event in Sophia. And I wish you some very joyful days here in Sofia, a wonderful city once you get to know it a little bit closer, here in the capital city of Bulgaria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before you take your seat again, we also brought